Shalom. Please join me as we sit in each other's silence again. Today we're entering the period of Advent on the church calendar. That is a time of waiting. It is a time of preparation. It's a time perhaps of not knowing, but a time of hope and a time of shalom. Today I'd like to use a meditation by Richard Rohr on waiting and unknowing as the theme of our sitting together contemplatively. But before we start, let us just become aware of our surroundings again, making sure that we're sitting comfortably, making sure that we're not crossing our legs, folding our arms, clenching our fists, that we are really just signifying openness and an invitation, an intentional invitation to God to be fully present, wholly present in our lives, more so in this period of Advent. Just become aware of your surroundings, everything around you, everything also creating a sense of place, a sense of space, also in it becoming that safe space where you always sit in each other in our silence, that it becomes sacramental, holy ground. Just sit in that for a while. But now I'd like to invite you to breathe in deeply. Allow every in-breath to remind you of breathing in as if for the first time, breathing in new air becoming new breath, becoming new life. Allow every in-breath also to remind you of preparation, waiting, the coming of new life. And every out-breath, and emptying out as you become lighter, physically lighter as well. Every out-breath, that emptying out, a spiritual kenosis, an emptying of the self. Every in-breath signifying life as a divine gift, life in its abundance. Breathe in deeply. Feel the air flowing into your chest as you become filled with the mystery of air turning into breath, turning into life. As you breathe out now, enjoy the lightness of emptying out, of emptying yourself of that which does not serve our moving towards Christmas, our own event, Advent. Advent as a pilgrimage. Now I'd like you to become aware of your feet resting on the floor. Just rest in that. As you become aware of your feet on the floor, be reminded of our grounding in the love of God, that life, that love, ever so more represented by what happened at Christmas. As you become aware of your feet, the grounding signified, the grounding in the love of God, also experience that as community, oneness, connectedness, as Advent becomes relational. Join me as I read from a meditation by Father Richard Rohr, Waiting and Unknowing, where he says, Advent, meaning coming, to the Church Fathers, was the right naming of the season when light and life are fading, that is in the Northern Hemisphere. They urged the faithful to set aside 4 weeks to fast, give and pray, all ways to strip down, to let the bared soul recall what it knows beneath its fear of the dark, to know what Jesus called the one thing necessary, that there is one who is the source of all life, one who comes to be with us and in us even, especially in darkness and death, one who brings a new beginning. This is a quote from Gail Boss. Then it continues to say, I hope it isn't difficult to understand why I'm beginning the Advent season reflecting on darkness. I'm not trying to be a spoilsport, but once Thanksgiving is over, in the United States, they are rushed headlong into the Christmas season. Yet Advent was once and still can be a time of waiting, a time of hoping without knowing, a time of emptying, so that we can be filled by the divine presence. Though you may be wrapping gifts, planning special meals, and spending time with family and friends, I hope you will always take time to allow the Advent darkness to do its work as well. Not knowing, uncertainty, is a kind of darkness that many people find unbearable. Those who demand certitude out of life will insist on it, even if it doesn't fit the facts. Logic and truth have nothing to do with it. If you require certitude, you will surround yourself with your own conclusions and dismiss or ignore any evidence to the contrary. The very meaning of faith stands in stark contrast to this mindset. We have to live in exquisite, terrible humility before reality. In this space, God gives us a spirit of questing, a desire for understanding. In some ways, it is like learning to see in the dark. We can't be certain of what's in front of us, but with some time, patience, our eyes adjust and we can make the next right move. The gospel doesn't promise us complete clarity. If God wanted us to have irrefutable proof, The incarnation of Jesus would have been delayed until technology and science could confirm it. Scriptures do not offer rational certitude. They offer us something much better, an entirely different way of knowing, an intimate relationship, a dark journey, a path where we must discover for ourselves that grace, love, mercy, and forgiveness are absolutely necessary for survival in an uncertain world. You only need enough clarity to know how to live without certitude. Yes, we really are saved by faith. People who live in this way never stop growing, are not easily defeated, are wise and compassionate, and frankly, are fun to live with. They have a quiet and confident joy. Infantile religion insists on certainty every step of the way, and thus is not very happy. Let us sit in each other's silence, contemplating, reflecting on this, and experience a certain waiting as we enter the period of Advent. Let us sit in each other's silence. Not knowing or uncertainty is a kind of darkness that many people find unbearable. The very meaning of faith stands in stark contrast to this mindset. We have to live in exquisite, terrible humility before reality. In this space, God gives us a spirit of questing, a desire for understanding. In some ways, it is like learning to see in the dark. Father Richard Rohr. Shalom.